Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah. So recently I made a video talking about my young adult urban fantasy novel, We Own the Sky. I will link to that video in the description. That was mainly a video where I talked about why I was deciding to self-publish that novel. So in that video I gave you sort of an elevator pitch, but here's the longer description. 16-year-old musician Sylvia Baker has always been able to see muses, mysterious beings who give artists inspiration, though they seem to be invisible to everyone else. After a near-suicide attempt, Sylvia manages to climb out of the darkness of her mind by exploring her own musical abilities, with the help of Travis, inspirational guitarist and classmate, and Vincent, the alluring British muse who becomes Sylvia's obsession. As she travels further into the world of these immortal beings that influence art, she finds herself in the middle of an epic battle between the modern earthly muses and the original Greek muses, some of which want her life. So this is the book of my heart. Yes, I've written a lot of other things I care about, but this is the one that I love the most. In 2006, I wrote a play called Painted. It was about an artist who was visited by these two mysterious beings that no one else could see, named Isabella and Vincent. I didn't say in the play that they were definitely muses. It was kind of left up to interpretation whether or not you thought they were real or she imagined them. But I could not get these characters, Vincent and Isabella, out of my mind, especially Vincent. I would just think about him all the time. It was like he was my imaginary friend, for real. And I knew I wasn't done writing him. So I started working on this book in late 2012. When I self-published it in September, it will be 5 years since I started work on the book. It will also be about 10 years since the production of my play Painted, which is the origin of the characters that this book came from. So I was going through the book the other day during my final round of edits before I send it off to the freelance editor that I've hired, and I actually got really excited. As I'm reading, I'm getting caught up in this story as if someone else wrote it. And that's the whole thing. The story is about muses and how when you're really in the zone with your art, it's not you that's creating the art. It's something unknowable, something divine. So I represent this kind of spiritual force with the muses from Greek mythology in my story, but it's different things to different people. I believe the best art really, though, doesn't come from the artist. It comes from a higher spiritual level. And we're all a part of that, I think. But ultimately, it has nothing to do with our human egos. Anyways, I'm reading this book and I'm feeling like this is really shining through, and it doesn't even seem like I wrote it. And the great thing about waiting 5 years to publish it is that it's been through a lot of revision since that time. So I'm a musician. I don't play anymore, but I used to play all the time and be in all these bands. I feel like I was really trying to, make it as a musician for a good 8, 9, 10 years even. And I had a lot of grief when I realized that I wasn't going to make it as a musician. I was in this band, Pocket the Moon, with a guy named Jeff Goodwin. He's quite possibly the most talented musician that I know. We released an album in 2011, and to this day, it's probably the thing that I am most proud of. I remember one day after I made this decision to kind of stop playing music, I was driving around listening to my iPod on shuffle, and one of the songs from the Pocket the Moon album came on. I started over the album and I drove around and I listened to the entire thing, and I had a serious emotional breakdown. I was sad that very few people were ever going to hear this album. I was sad because I thought my music career was over. It felt like I was mourning the loss of music. Now that obviously wasn't true, and actually my husband has really helped heal a lot of that for me since I met him, and we're even starting to work on music together, but in the moment that's how I felt. So the book obviously has a great deal to do with music. Sylvia loves music and she talks about music a lot. She plays every instrument. Her father plays every instrument. She's in a band. She's in chorus. Vincent is inspiring her to create music. I mean, the book basically is music. I was sitting there working on my edits and I just had this thought, what if I went through all of that so that I could write this book? So I guess you just never know why you're going through something until you can look back on it. So anyway, I'm super excited to finally be able to share this book with you guys. I know September is a little far, but I hope you all will remember to read a copy. It really is my favorite thing that I've ever written. So I know a lot of you are writers. I would love to hear about the book of your heart. What is your favorite thing that you've ever written? Tell me about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos about writing, books, or music. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.